Grande butuh no.
Ay. Naman na madar mo nun siya stress mo na. Ay. I want to rock it to the phone. Tell focus on phone. Tell okay. Tell focus. Tell I'm like dog. Guys, like this is fine. No, but then no, I like it. Inyan man.
What are you
I'm
talking
like
about, dog?
no, man. I'm talking about my dad, Joe. I says mo siya stress. Yeah, bro. Anyway, do you know that guy
Because cara
said?
que se stress how papi.
Sorry, pa.
Grande otherwise. Hello,
Ay,
nanda.
kisa pong pensaga, bueno, grade.
Mfana ka wona ke jadi jam squash.
Hey, come on,
Hala ha
tagad
jam
is
squash.
come on.
Eh?
Come on, as in like, what's that? Like, man, I finished, dog.
Agar
Bruh.
udi jo kare o ja papa.
Nah, maramana mona like what kids they have that was a dog. Ish, but no, man. It's fine though. It's fine, fam. Alright, it's fine, dog. Hey,
Ana focus.
na marahapeki working kaneki actually like working. This makoya mag actually so jelo ne na was alone. So anj wan thalwany. So
Uga
anj.
kukwela warra. Let's keep on tapping, guys. 5,000 self figure. Give me K. Hello, Sabuni. Hello, hi. Mvuyo, we see you. Owa bontshitse rona di ntshang frenga se lemo wa. Leroy.
No, penjag no ne. I'm like since game is nepera so from Koko ready nepera. So
Okay.
maybe so hopefully by tomorrow or maybe Thursday we can show them I'm like a bit because
Some
mental
stuff.
yeah. Oh well.
Yeah. No, I'm not stressed.
Well.
Batho ba borra di iPhone ba ko ba Friday ba kae? Ha ba share le owner di do tsena ba di tseya bana.
Man, wait bile ke lebetse go botsa ebile ne but then let me make sure by today and like for maybe because barking my slides he only took pictures of me playing, so that would really be unfair of now like just putting my face here, you know.
Why not? I need you at the face now of my boy.
No, but then we are the team, so now me is like just putting me you so
The
like
fact the fact that the event happened in J will know
no.
that there's a team.
Nah. You know what? Let's wait pila for the nepa three sharp person and then we take it like we take it. But it's a content him not pila.
No, I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed.
Yeah.
I guess the people will wait. But nonetheless, guys, it was nice on Friday. Those who got to see. Oh, but also Lee, we can post the things, no? Ish, but I don't know if thing will allow though. But check if we can post some of the live that we took.
Oh yeah, we can actually. Yeah, I just have to
Yeah, but
download my phone.
obviously I get it. Hona le doing the TikTok and your flag. So maybe you
Yeah.
can cut off those things, or
Oh yeah, actually. I know. Hey, that's not a problem
try and
actually.
see what you can do, guy on.
Yeah. So maybe by tonight, nyana, like they'll have a young video, nyana, maybe.
All right, ke agile ke yo better ke form ya video tla.
Claro. Nah, guys,
Hello,
back to our
Papa.
boy. We had a professional, so we are waiting for professional.
Yeah, no, the professional was doing the things more on Friday. Joe,
Come on now.
I know I was really impressed. I was like, no, good photographer, I'm on nete.
Hey, boy, I get ready nap.
Ready now,
Mm-mm.
All right. Let's go, guys. We are winning. Yes, you guys are impressive today. Already the more 8K. La nchama, le batla ho nchama fela, Mokgwa wa lona le batla ho nchama. Dumelang, but let's just share. I'm only seeing 6 shares and there's
Manje
29 of
ngobani
us.
Nkosi yami?
Eh?
No, kare
We'll receive a call. We'll receive a call. In any case, good morning, everybody. To those who are joining us for the first time, we are doing our best. Thank you, Hope. Those who are joining us for the first time, my name is KG. Umumakoya Rundown. We are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10, and we have wonderful conversations. We get to know people, we get to know each other, we get to give each other advice, we get to, share wonderful moments, we get to ask for advice, So come through. All we do is just so that we can see a better future, see a better society, be the change we want to see. So join us, man. Join us every single Monday to Friday, 20 past 10. We are here. House abone na otla bona botili roy, di tla bua. Nonetheless, we also have YouTube with our Makaya Rundown, same name. You can see the lives that we have. You can see all the advices that have been given in the past, all the good points and conversations. I think knowledge and wisdom being shared in a calm setting, in a very wonderful environment. Listen, man, just go consume it. Just go consume it, Ube mnat. And Leroy, I don't know if I forget any other of the ads. Come through, please.
I know. I gonna just what's that? Just follow the legend. That's all. We're gonna do more great things, and then hopefully, like hopefully by month end, we can do another chill life. But then like hopefully a new location. But then there are chances that we might do it go preview happy. But then again, when it's real, so when I just follow the agenda, so and like let's see how we can work it out. Happy, and they're like send through suggestions, guys. Come on, man. I mean, Halibu next. Maranjile nyakapad. Come on, guys. No, as Labuan something Rokono Bontana. Rates a plan.
So,
Exactly.
how do Lamu mention and invite?
Exactly. That's a mention party.
On Talai.
Exactly.
So, Ari Rambiao. Guys, and Sabelo said she can't cook. Ne? But at least she can hook you up. Got jam squash. Tapan Sabelo got jam squash. Buffet. Lava right. Okay. Yeah, hello, we see you. Yes. Karabo, are you intending to join late? We will definitely post pin the topic. Don't worry, mommy. Don't worry. Morning as a late comer. Please start the life again. Oh, Tsebile. Ke agile, o re invite go Durban go kae? Tell us. Dipolelo a hona recipe sa steroids.
Mfana witiki never man can dipulelo, ne? Like those are one of those ones still it's that double Mr. Krabs, like you will never know, but it slaps. You're like okay, barking kana Ego KFC ela. You'll never brag. You can you can put in the pepper now in there, but you'll never know. Ni lapo. So it's just that hard. But so I don't like the best thing you can do now is just for it like reka fela. Then I
Tsenya
feed.
order wena tsenya order. O tla ba monate, o tla ba monate. Right, guys, without wasting further time, let's get on the thing. Lee, can you please play the disclaimer? Abuti Leroy. Lee, can you hear me? Utswile, beach party perhaps South Beach. Ritara re ha nna ko mention re invite. Or mention how uku beachfront. Give those overlooking the ocean. Guys, producer Udiapeile Fandaha, she came with this topic, and I was like, okay, all right, let's see what we can do here. If you can see this one, it has potential to be a bomb. You know, so come through, and you know how I do it. Come at it at any angle you want, how you are interpreting it, how you are seeing it, how you are getting it. First thing that comes to mind, come through, tell us what is happening. What is actually the difference there? All right, so it can happen where both happen to you. You know, but in this case, would you rather be hated or forgiven? So we all have relationships, and they take every shape and form under the sun, right? It could be a friendship, could be a love relationship, could be a family relations, you know. Yes, forgotten. No, it's correct. Not forgiven, forgotten. Guys, I told you that this one, my producer cooked it. She cooked it. Oh, I said forgiven. My bad. Forgotten. I thought I said forgotten. You know. So it's not forgiven, but forgotten. Apologies, guys. You know. But in any case, hated or forgotten. Right. Like I said, we have relationships, they take different shapes and forms. And oftentimes when there's conflict or things go south, when there's fights that break things apart, there's an opportunity of either being hated or forgotten. In this day and age here in Baraking, cancel culture, you know, maybe there could be a situation where, you know, the cancel culture forces you to be forgotten, whichever way, you know. So here we go, guys. Which one would it be? Do you guys understand it? So Karabo says both. Mpo says forgotten, out of mind, out of sight, or out of mind, out of mind. So out of sight, out of mind, out of mind, out of mind. So what's happening? What's happening, guys? Let us know. Which one would you rather be. Today, I would like to take it and give my opinion first. That I think, because I can think of so many scenarios in my head where one could find themselves in a situation where there's an opportunity for either to happen, right? Whether it happens to you or it happens to someone else coming from you. So I don't hate, so I'll rather be forgotten. All right, there we go. So it seems like it's well understood. We are getting into it. So for me, I think definitely you are better off if I'm in the receiving end. I'm better off being forgotten than hated. Um, because hate, just has a funny consequences that accompanies it, right? And you can't control whether people love you or hate you that much. But it can happen, that for whatever reason you are hated. Yo, hate to get tender, bro. It's a lot. Kispahani, Cho, Kispahani. Karabo says, is this for any context or any specific scenario? Any context, mama. That's why I said come at it at any direction. It could be in friendship, could be in relations, it's a family, it could be love relationships, it could be I don't know what. But would you rather be hated or forgotten? You know, I think we also have a saying of forgive and forget. Many people take it as well. There's two options that people usually look at it, saying you forgive and you forget what has been done to you, but another person will say forgive the person and forget them. Basically just forget they exist. So there's that. Would you rather be hated or forgiven? So for me, rather be forgotten. When you're forgotten, you hopefully you don't leave any bitter taste in someone's mouth to an extent that they would want to, hate and put so much energy in hating you. Rather about loyal, just forget you ever existed, type of a thing. And I I employ the same view when it comes to first of all, I always say guard against offense. Offense, it's a very poisonous thing. You can jump into conclusions, you can act, out of your character, you can do a lot of things as a result of being offended. So always guard against offense, right? And as a result of guarding against offense, you can be able to say, you know what, this person has did me dirty. I will forgive for my sake, and I will just forget about this thing, about this person. Because harboring the hate in your own heart, toxic to you, right? And it spills over other areas of your life. So you'd rather not, in any case. When you're given these two choices, that is, rather not, just forget, forgotten is it because I'm good in forgetting people. I move on fast. As people can agree, can relate. So just forget, man. Forget the situation, forget the person. Don't harbor things. That would be for me. But some people may be compelled, for other things, and some people don't even care. And I actually want to hear those views of people who say, I could not be moved whether you hate me or you forget me. If anything, I'd rather you hate me, and get it over and done with. Some people will go for that, you know. So yeah, Lee.
And that's exactly what I was about to say, actually. Or as a Joe, you know, and like me, man, I really don't care. Eh? You hate me, you forget me. Hey, praga mo wena mo hide. You know, I'm sorry, but man, you know, because hey man, but again, God, like you see, like I said, they are hate Hispani, you know, like
Hmm.
you really have to constantly remind yourself that you hate this person, you know? Or maybe like very like we just kind of condition yourself, right man, you know what, like ish, kunje kg, you know what, ish, you know what, like "Ish, I just hate this guy." I'm like, bro, like you really could be using that the effort you to actually do something productive with your life, you know? And then hey man, so happy like another thing with forgetting like you know how memories are as in like very tricky, you know, because you really can't really control them
Okay.
much. So being forgotten would be very tricky, but then again, I really don't care about that, you know. So I'd rather, hey man, you know what? They're like, just live your life, man. You know, as I do not actually think, or you hate me, or hey, you want to, like you want to, you, like, like you want to constantly forget about me, but then again, like memories are they're like scars, my G. You can literally forget that you fell as in like last year, but then that's kanya na ela or ish. Yes, as man, but yeah, man, it's man kile ka wa botlhoko anyo. So they will forever be there. So hey man, what I would say is like try, um, try to live your best life, you know, and then like minimize everything, and then like yeah, like just do good, because some people really don't give a f, really don't.
Always. And question for you, Lee.
Mm.
Would Are you, I don't know if I should say afraid, but are you against or afraid of you being hated personally?
Okay, none of the above, ne, because like genuinely, ne, honestly, guys, there is something beyond like my control because happens. Remember, we are very different. So now maybe the way like okay, sharp, we are different, ne, sharp, no. So nje, like uh obviously, like we are gonna see things very different, you know. What works for you might not work for me, but again, kind of happen the other way around. So I don't know, what like fortunately I've been blessed as in like not to like worry about that like so much, because I understand that we see things very differently, you know. So I say like a fear thing, ke la gore, hey man, sorry, how do we are different, I sharp. So whether you hate or maybe you love, or maybe you want to like do this or that, sharp, look out for
Okay.
your peace fade.
Another shift of the question.
Mm,
Do you think someone's hate towards you can affect you?
never those. Well, okay, well me, I- I've I've never had like that thing actually. As in,
That you know.
hey man, yeah, ibile wait ibile what's again can ibile like malobane ke botsa my friend what actually guys, why are people so bothered about Ghana with like having haters, you know, like yeah, my haters must know. I'm like, dude, really man, why are you so fascinated about having haters? And like like why are you giving them the power to to actually, as in like kind of dictate you, as in like what you do now, because now you have to prove them wrong. Bruh, like that has never been my thing, Joe.
Mm.
Nah, because happy, dude, as in like, look at me, short yellow bone, husband. So now, once fella as in like get it say like working kind of those contentment thing, or as you know what, bruh, you are like this fairy, not but what like a writer, I sharp crane. So now, as soon as I learned that, uh,
Yeah.
so I was like, brag, you born, you can diss me, you can hate me, whatever. Who will happen, Jack?
Yeah.
So it really doesn't affect me in any way, dog.
Yeah.
Zero.
All
Eh,
right. I see you. I see you. Kiachila says, if someone hates me for whatever reason, I don't stress myself. As long as I didn't do anything bad. What if you did do something bad, Kiachila? What then? Would it then stress you? Would it then bother you? At a point of immaturity, it might get the best of you. Okay. All right, I hear you. Bongin Kosi, how are you, sir?
Hi, man. How are you? I'm great.
I'm tops. When I got that,
Now I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm working from home.
nice.
Um, yeah, lovely. Can
That's
join the
great.
session without
I
any
remember,
disturbances.
I remember you seeing me on Friday on the live, and I was like, yes, FOMO upon you.
Wow.
Kidding. I was waiting for this day. I was like, this one, Gitlomo Canela. Next time I'm live.
Hey, nekili khaletse, guys. Ke re, yo, eh. If only I could come. But uh, next
It is
time.
what it is. Next time,
Next
indeed.
time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Always come through with it. What's your take?
Um, I think nah. I, for me, I think I'd rather be forgotten,
Okay.
right? Um, the reason why I wouldn't want to be hated, okay, nakhona it depends. Ukuthi where does the hate stems from? If I've done something wrong, then I wouldn't want to be hated. But if I didn't do anything, someone just hates me for no reason, then I don't care. But if I've
Okay.
done something wrong, then I normally, when I know that I've done something wrong, I apologize. I make sure that I apologize and I genuinely apologize. Um, and I make the person engimrongile to understand ukuthi I'm actually sorry. Um, and then afterwards, I think it's up to them to then forgive me or not. Remember, when you ask for forgiveness, you don't force someone to forgive you, but you want them to forgive you, right? But you don't force someone to forgive you. Then,
Sure.
if I've apologized and you still hate me, then that's on you. I can't control that. I've done my
Okay.
part. I've apologized. If you hate me for no reason, then that's also on you. I
Okay.
can't change that. I can't apologize for that. It's on you. You have your own reasons. I don't know them. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. Um, but in terms of being forgotten, I don't mind. I don't mind. I think I've been in a relation in relationships where I ended up being forgotten. But also Nakona, it depends, right? It depends on who forgets me and who, like, if, say, for instance, I invest my time in a relationship, be it a romantic relationship, a friendship, whatsoever, if I invest my time and I think ukuthi kuleyo relationship I've made an impact, and as a result, and afterwards ngiyakhohleka, then I'm gonna be hurt, right? Because
Okay.
I've invested time. I think ngibe mina ngokwami I thought maybe even impact in your life,
Mm,
but then when I want culture, then I'm gonna be hurt, right? But if it was just a mere friendship, um, nakhona, it can be a friendship ecacile, ne? But
mm,
still ungikhohlwe. It depends, man.
mm,
If ngizitshele ukuthi mina I've had an impact empilweni yakho, a very
yeah.
positive impact, and when you forget me, then I'm gonna be hurt. But
Mm,
if nje benga-add value into your life and you forget me, it's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And
okay.
also, I wouldn't like to be forgotten for the work that I've done. Um, I think I've done some cool work over the
Yeah.
years,
Mm-hmm.
um, in spaces where I've been, particularly around Tembisa, where I
Mm,
was, where I grew up. Um, so I think, and not to say I was doing things just for people to remember me.
mm-hmm.
Um, one thing is for sure, I wouldn't want them to forget the work. They can forget me, but not the work that I've done or the changes that I've made. I want people to carry on that. I don't
Mm,
care if they don't remember who did that, who started that. That doesn't matter.
mm. Quite a quite a good perspective. Okay. Right. Wonder though. Um. Mm, hmm. Okay. 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 Too many sparks in my head. Too many sparks in my head. But I hear you. I hear you. I'm just trying to reconcile the, the usual saying of, or the concept of leaving a legacy, and obviously then your
Mhm,
legacy is this
mhm,
work that you have done,
mhm.
and the nature of leaving a legacy equally so is for you to be remembered. And I don't think it's such a bad thing for humans to want
Absolutely.
to be remembered.
Mhm,
Otherwise, what is this all for? This life that we are
mhm,
living.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
So I wonder if it is just an issue of humility by saying, sharp, let them not forget me, or let them forget me, but not forget the work. I think it's equally important for you to be remembered for the work, because um, take, for example, the Mandela Foundation or any other foundation for that
mhm,
matter.
mhm,
Um, we, every time we say Mandela Foundation, there's that
mhm,
reminder of the person who started the whole thing. We can begin to go look into who he is, the values he lived by, and
mhm.
all of that, that then fueled this work. Then someone can equally then take the baton and run, right?
Mhm.
So I think it's still equally important that you are remembered for that work,
Yeah,
in as much as the work can be
yeah.
remembered. And yeah, I don't know. That's why in my head I was just like, yeah,
Absolutely. I agree with you. It is as equally important,
yeah,
but in my case, I think the reason why I said Uguti, I don't care if a lot of people don't know that I did the work, right? As long as the work continues. And the reason why I say this is because I've actually there's a lady that I worked with.
mm,
Um, Sadly, she passed away this year, in the beginning of the year. So we worked on a project in Tembisa, and we started an organization called Equal Education. Well, we didn't start the organization. The organization was started by other people, but we were very instrumental into the introduction of the organization in Tembisa and other parts of the country, such as Eastern Cape, Western Cape, and KZN, right? And the work that that lady did for this organization and ensuring that the policies and stuff, everything was drafted properly, the way that we communicated with government personals, like everything, right? The work that she did was very, very instrumental. And the results that the organization have seen over the years have been great, right? And people didn't know that it was actually most of her ideas, right? People started knowing during her memorial service when we all came together and spoke about the work that she has done. And you know, whenever we spoke, me and her, and we sort of like had a reflection of the work that we were doing for equal education, there was never a point where she said, "Oh God, Dwabonkose, I did this. Oh God, Dwabonkose, I did that." You understand? And that's on itself. I love that. I love that because she didn't make the work about her, but she made the work about the organization. It was the organization's effort. It was never about her. It was about doing the good for the people, right? She didn't want people to sort of attach that to her and say, because you know, the scary thing about having your name attached to something is we do mistakes, a lot of mistakes, like Mhlabeni, right? And it's so unfortunate sometimes that when you do a very small mistake, then it overshadows the work that you've done because you have constantly attached your name to everything that you do. You understand? There are organizations that I still want to work with. There are non-profit organizations that I still want to work with. But I don't want anything then that's personal to me to cloud that thing. engiyenzayo. I don't want people to look at me as Ubonkosi and say, "Hey, kodwa Ubonkosi udate no ban. Ay, mara yo sakhumbula beka donator in this school and like I don't want that. Let the work that I do iphume egameni lami and my personal space. I don't mind people knowing, but I don't want to be constantly attached in things that I do. I do things not for show, but for loving in Dengi Yenzai.
Okay. No. Clearly put. Clearly put. All right. Abutiwan, I see you are away. If you can hear us, you can come through. Bongengosi, thank you so much for your submission. Much appreciated. Abutiwan Zwaga.
Good morning, everyone.
How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How about you?
Very well. No complaints. Come through.
Interesting topic. But I want to start with just reflecting on yesterday's topic. You know, yesterday we had an opportunity to have a constructive discussion, but we turned it into dust. Myself included, by the way, myself included. You know, there was a lady who came here crying for help, but what we did was we showed her a middle finger instead of trying to assist her.
Okay.
A lot of things that were said yesterday are unfortunately unbecoming and regrettable, to be honest. I wish that we could have handled that discussion a bit different, and I believe we could have had we tried to understand her. But nonetheless, moving on to today's topic, hated or forgotten. Yo, this is very tricky. First of all, I don't see how these two correlates, because a person who hates you will never forget about you, and a person who has forgotten about you can never hate you. And unfortunately, whether someone decides to hate or forget about you can never be your decision. True. However, in my view, it's always better to be forgotten, because I'm a firm believer in never banning any breaches, because you don't know when you might need to cross that bridge.
Sure.
And relationship all ends, and by relationship I'm referring to both all sorts of relationships: professional relationships, business relationship, romantic, and friendships. All these relationships ends, and often not because of conflict or misunderstanding, But just because they have reached the natural conclusion or they've lasted their usefulness, and it's better for that person to forget instead of hating you, because you'll never know, you'll really never know when you might meet them. And it's never a good thing when you have to go back to someone whom you've done wrong to ask for assistance or information, but you find that that person is just doesn't even want to talk to you anymore. Because in life, unfortunately, you are bound to step on people's toes, whether intentionally or unintentionally. That is bound to happen. And the best outcome is if that person forgives you and they forget of what you have done, instead of them hating you for the rest of their life.
Sure.
Yeah. That's
Okay. And may I please extend the same questions to you that I asked Leroy? Do you think someone hating you will have an effect on you somehow?
whether you want to admit or not, it's a fact. Someone hating you can have an effect on you in one way or the other. Because, as I said earlier, you never know when you might need that person. That person might be in a room where your expertise are needed. Just because that person hates you might close the door for you. So it's people love to say, myself, I'm also guilty of this. We love to say that, oh, I don't care whether you hate me or not. It's your choice. Blah, 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 blah. But the truth is, that person might not have a direct impact. That person hating you might not have a direct impact in your life at that point, but no one is certain about the future. So my
Okay.
answer, yes, it can have an impact on you if someone hates you.
Okay. All right. Nicely put. I think it opens more doors to look at it. Nice. Thank you so much. Are you good with this submission? Any
Yeah,
last
I'm
points?
good. I'm
All
good.
right, not a problem. Thank you so much. Nano, hello, hi. Nano,
Good rising, guys. I really love this topic. Yo,
thank you. All the thanks goes to my producer. She
I
always
produce
comes.
you're a star.
She always brings topics. I'm like, what? What am I supposed to do with this? Mara vibe stealer. What is this? But yeah, I just go with it, and they tend to always be fire. So let's go ahead.
Yo, I think with the personal experience of my life, right? I'm the kind of person who believes to be pure and kind and warm-hearted. But the amount of hate I've wait, you guys, I've received so much hate from different angles for different reasons. Where people would have an epiphany about me that I would know nothing about, and they would run with it. And at the end of the day, whether I like it or not, they have a choice to make whether they will forget about me or whether they will continue to ponder on my existence. But the kind of person and my energy that I carry, I know gore I bother a lot of people. So hate for me, it's more like should I say a superpower in disguise? Because the moment I realize gore, oh, we don't see eye to eye because I probably trigger something in you, chances are the preference of me would amount to hate, which is you wanting to cut me off.
Okay.
And when I made a comment to say it might affect you due to immaturity, that's simply because I had not found myself and had not understood who I am and whose I am and the power that I carry. So I always would want to fit in. And in that, I found that I was only people pleasing. So whether I liked a person enough for them not to hate me, whether I wanted to project myself as this person that's coming across as pure and authentic, I would find that they would always find something to hate about me, which is me being myself. So I then learned that rejection is always going to be there, and rejection is not necessarily that there's something wrong with you. Sometimes you find you are being hated because you are living in your true, authentic self. Sometimes you're being hated for telling the truth as the truth is supposed to be told. Sometimes you get hated for just being yourself and just living your life the way you do. And when they look at you, they're like, how is she doing it? And that can bring about whatever emotion that a person might decide on, and you don't have control over that, but rather you have every right to just be yourself and continue in your truth. As for being careful in the relationships, be it romantic, platonic, karmic, whatever you want to name it, I do believe that with enough work done on self, when you really, really stand in your power, it doesn't matter who hates you. Should you find yourself in a room full of all your haters, for the fact that the skill was given to you to alchemize, for the fact that it's only you that can do that one thing the way it's required to be done, the opportunity will always be given to you. So for me, I would just say, stay in your truth, man. It doesn't really matter how people treat you, and also just understanding that as long as you are in the right mind of being in good intentions every time, you don't have to worry about what the next person says about you, or what extent in which they would go to try and tarnish your name. Because what they do, these haters, they end up recruiting, they find people alike, and then they go about in making sure that everybody sees you in the same light as what they have painted you to be. So yeah, but yeah, it's a very fun conversation for me. Like I'm excited about this. I know there's people who hate me
Yeah.
that pray every day that they can forget me, but because I'm such a trigger, like I'm the boogie woman. Like I will always pop up in your head.
Yeah.
Because probably if you come out of your life, it's because I did you good. I did you good. So I will never be forgotten. Warata haurat, I will never be forgotten. I existed in you, in your timeline, in your consciousness. That alone is a memory that your body will store for forever. So Keshab, like Keshab, you can, it's okay.
I hear you. Interesting. Interesting put. And it made me ask a question that the issue of hate, and I think also Leroy pointed out earlier on. So this thing of what we say nowadays, my haters, my haters, my haters, Um, is it that perhaps we need to reach a certain level of maturity, if I may borrow your word, to be able to understand perhaps the what to do with being hated? I think that is the case. So let me parallel this one, right? So we often talk about mostly in business that keep your customers and competitors equally close, because if your competitor or your enemy can help you advance in what you need to do, use them. And I think that requires a level of maturity, to then see an enemy, see a hater, and be like, how can I capitalize on this hate? How can I capitalize, on this enemy? Because the nice thing about these negative energies and being hated and whatnot, I think they're so predictable that you can always rely on the person to jump should you be a trigger, as you have said, Nano. And then the art of then knowing as and when to trigger for it to be able to work for your favor is something that I think is just so, yeah, it needs you to have thought and lived, long enough with the thought of, these hating and all of that. So this is just what came to mind now as you spoke. So I don't know, I will give you Nano to respond to that, and then I'll give one. Nomfundo, I would ask you please to mute so long. When it's opportunity to speak, then you will unmute. Nomfundo, Nano, come through.
Thank you. So basically, the maturity, I think also the level of healing comes with also understanding what you label as hurt, what you label as pain. And with
Okay.
understanding of that, you will understand where or what jealousy, how jealousy, envy starts for it to amount to hate, right? And when you have an understanding of who you are, which is you having done the work to find better ways of not becoming the reflection of what is being given to you, or for you to incubate what is being given to you, the is the name calling, the labeling, because all of that comes with someone really not liking you. And then you need to go back to how the relation started, what it is that you both would have related to for you to actually believe you have a relationship. Be it you are born into a family where later you realize that the relationship is not worthy of, trying to cultivate or down and a different.
Nano, so sorry. I think we are losing you. Ngari, you're going further away from the mic.
Am I? Okay.
Yes. Now you're back. Yes. Come through.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. So in the you finding self and you understanding that the jealousy or hatred thereof is not because of you being less than what you are meant to be, but rather you are not liked because others would wish to be like you. You need to be very sympathetic and empathetic about it. Understand that there is a relationship that started with this thing of, nah, I like you, nah, I want to be around you. And then maybe the hate then becomes hate or jealousy or dislike at a later stage. You need to go back and be able to trace, how did it go about for us to find ourselves in this position where now I don't have a liking in you? And then you need to look at what it is that you had contributed for that person not to have a liking in you. And like Ubongani said, Ubonginkosi rather, sorry, he said he's quick to apologize. And I'm also quick to apologize because I'm self-aware of uhambo lwami nezinyathelo zami. And provided I find it that mhlawumbe anginyathelanga kahle or I didn't respond to you in a proper manner, that would be a trigger enough for me to realize that there's something that I need to do healing on. So instead of imposing my inability of admitting and also acknowledging that there is an issue with me, I cannot come back and project that as I dislike you because every time you try to teach me something, I'm unteachable or I'm not ready to face that is bothering me. So for me, like I'm saying, Guti, hate is something that I cannot control from other people, but it has become something that I've learned to make it a superpower. How so? When I realize you don't like me, I look at what you don't like about me. And provided we are good enough to have that conversation, or you are at a position of making it clear to say you dislike me because I like children and children like me so much and you don't understand why, and I'm a mean person when it comes to abantu abadala, it would end to be, okay, you don't like the fact that my energy is pure enough to nurture children, so that's okay. I will take that, use it to my best advantage, and continue in my good deeds. So regardless of what you will do in having to, umemabanye or do whatever that you feel is necessary to get me to be understood or misunderstood as the person that you don't like, I will still stand in my power. So the aim is for you to continue knowing who you are and what you are about, regardless of what is being thrown at you. That will help you understand that the issue here is not with you. The person expressing hate is not hating you because you are doing anything wrong. After you have done the self check and you are precisely sure that you have not done anything that can come back and stain you as the one that had orchestrated or started or planted a seed of this hatred to come about.
Okay. Hey, Leroy was causes to nanan.
Leroy Oyalo. And this is for those with the ears. If you've got ears, you will hear. If not, then it's fine. But it all boils down to whatever hatred you receive, let it be that it teaches you what not to become. So when it's thrown at you, you know, I don't want to say mwah to someone else. I don't want to say bad words. I don't want to wish them ill. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. If it means that person forgets you, it's all well. But one day, mantswe a hao a ka se wele fatshe.
Right. Very clear, very clear, very clear. Thank you so much, Nano. Makupe, thank you for coming up because I saw a statement that you make that please make it into the English 5-year-old. Ware helele pavement di etsa jwang?
That the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Babo.
Ranola.
So basically what Ausinan was saying, or sometimes you can just exist and be yourself and do absolutely nothing to nobody. But to battle receiver in a bad way, and sometimes our intentions are not always reflected in our actions. So I can intend the best thing for you, Abu Dikeji, or listen, you look so you are so dark and you're so beautiful, but then for where being dark is a bad thing. My intention when I said that was not to hurt you, but compliment, but it hurt you. And so that's basically what it means for the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Thank you for the clarity. So jump onto the topic. Ariko.
Nah, when if you clearly got last thing, guys, I'm so sorry if you covered this.
Don't worry. But speak your truth.
For in the macro sense, so not by myself as Kokejo. If I had to choose between being hated or forgotten, I would choose being hated, because emotions evolve, and being forgotten, you can change somebody's mind. You can even the same way they got to hating you, they can go back to loving you or not feeling anything at all. If you didn't do anything, because sometimes someone will hate you, right? They can go back to loving you, because it's about them and what's within them. So if they go and seek help and come back and be like, actually, Kuketo's not such a bad person, then good for me, right? And then in the broader sense, my mom passed on when I was 5, and I was raised by my grandparents. So I always wondered what I could do for my mom, because when you're growing up, you say to your parents, hey, kitlo rekela eng, so I would promise my grandparents I'd do this for them, I'd do that for them, but wonder what I could do for my mom. And as I thought about it, the best thing that I can do for my mom is give her immortality, is to make sure that she is never forgotten. And if people forget you, guys, you can't live forever. And there are people that we still talk about today. Your William Shakespeare's. Today we hate him. Tomorrow he stole somebody's story. Now we love him. Tomorrow he is doing absolutely nothing where he is. But one thing for sure, he's not forgotten. There will be people who will continue to fight your battles forever. This generation will hate you, the next generation will love you, the next generation, it will just be a cycle forever. But salang, you are not forgotten. Mandela was loved, then hated, then loved, then we had a weird relationship with him, then we hated him for Winnie, then we loved him for that, then no. So it changes every day. It changes every day, you know? So yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
Hey, lewo kuman. Lewo ku litsuhile wa itsala ala robala. Tla bongeng kosi.
I just wanted to say, now I completely agree with what Makupe and Cisnano said. You really can't control the way that people think about you. The best thing is to think about yourself and the things that you've done. If you know very well that you've done something bad, better you apologize and you let it go. Then afterwards, it's up to those people whether they forgive you or they don't. It's up to them. You can't control that. But for me, I think also it hurts me when the hate that people have is now directed to people that I love, right? For instance, if you hate me and now all of a sudden you hate my child as well, that's going to hurt me because my child is not as grown as I am, doesn't understand how to receive hate, how to process hate. They don't understand. Me, now I don't care. But now it's going to hurt me if you do things to my child because you hate me. That's gonna hurt. But otherwise, I don't care. Like people have been hated. Makupe said it. People have been hated for no reason. We hate celebrities for no reason. Well, I don't hate any celebrity, just to be clear. But people do hate celebrities for like no reason. Like someone will just say, I don't like Rihanna. Why? Nje. So you see, like people will hate. Basa usabadira anything, they will hate.
Interesting. Wow, you've brought in another thing. Families, where you say kuti, and it's a common thing where we hear that the elders are fighting. We don't know whether it's hate or whatnot, but these fights then end up affecting children, where now children don't have relations because mama le rakgadi ba lwana or whoever ba lwana. Then now the kids must all of a sudden not like each other because of this. Someone speak to that, and then there's action. Like I thought. One, my apologies. I think you did raise a hand after Nano spoke, and I did not come back to you. Please come through.
You must start waiting on people's names.
Hey.
When Nana was speaking, she reminded me of this profound Zulu proverb that says "Umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu," and we can never run away from that. So she also mentioned something very interesting. That's when people hate you, they collect other peoples to come together and hate you, and what that's end up and what that can lead to as people creating a false rumor about you, which will spread and block future relationships for you that would have been rather beneficial. I also want to touch on what Umakupe said. That people hate you because they're jealous of you, and unfortunately, that's not always the case. What we do as people sometimes is we mistreat people unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, and we hide behind the cloud of protecting my peace, just to avoid accountability. And whenever you mistreat someone, whether you know it or not, sometimes you can mistreat someone by sometimes you can offend someone by what you say, what you do, And just by how you look at them, they might take offense and they might assume that you have a problem with them and end up hurting you. So, I forgot some of the things I wanted to say, but anyways.
Sorry. Yeah.
Anyways, I still believe that being forgotten has a net positive. Why? Because it allows you the opportunity to re-emerge as a different person. If I mistreat you now or offend you now and you forget about it, I have an opportunity to re-emerge as a different person that you might like. However, if you hate me, I now have to convince you to forget about my wrongdoings and now start liking me or maybe forgive me. If I remember some of the things I had in mind, I'll raise my hand again. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you so much. Makupa, I think you wanted to correct something and add on to the issue of clan names, yeah?
Oh, clan names. Okay, so no, gore yona ntho eo that speaks to immortality. Gore we make sure gore we know, like nna ke phela Dianapi, what does that mean? Napi ke mang? Napi o belege mang? And so on and so on and so on. So even like how Mamela, I'm sorry, I'm bad for this one. I don't know our full sereto sa ko gae, but and then ibile Zulu people make it even more deliberate because they don't just like it's not so poetic, but they give the lineage in the name.
Okay.
So kore ke KG, ngwana wa Paul, ngwana wa mang, ngwana wa mang, ngwana wa mang. It can even go up to 10 generations before you. You know, so to make sure that you are not forgotten. And even now we find, I mean, recently I was a bridesmaid at a wedding where my grandfather's uncle utlhokofetse asanyala asinabana, so ramunyalela ngwetsi ya motse o, so that he's not forgotten. The sons that are that come from that woman will be his sons, even though he didn't bear them, so that he's not forgotten.
Whoa. Come back. Explain that whole situation again.
Okay, so my grandfather's uncle, Rangwane, ne? O tlhokofetse a sa nyala a sena bana.
Okay.
Right? So his name will essentially die.
Okay.
So what the family did is ba mo nyaletse ngwetsi. They married a woman. So this lady, ne, this is what happened with my family, okay? This lady, like she's in her 40s or 50s. Yeah. And then they went and approached her, listen, she's got 3 sons, if I'm not mistaken. She already has these 3 sons, and I don't know what the relationship with their father is, but he's clearly not in the picture. Okay. So Ramunyala, but essentially Renyala these sons so they can have our surname. And that having that surname, their father is that Rangwane there.
Yes.
Yeah. So he will never be forgotten because they will bear sons and their sons will bear sons. You know? So
never have I ever.
Yeah. And I literally went to that wedding. I was a bridesmaid.
And
it's a proper wedding.
Who then stood for the groom?
We choose a male representative from our family.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Now, fine. She belongs to the family, or she's part of the family now. But now, who is her husband?
She's a widow.
So it then means she's accepting that she will not be married again?
Yes, she's accepting that, but she can have somebody on the side, but they can never get married. They can never get married. And should they mess around and she falls pregnant, that child is ours.
Hashem. How we learn. Yes, yeah.
I wasn't saying that people that hate you are jealous of you. I was saying that this word haters and hate is being used so loosely that I think most people are just speaking about people that are jealous of you or just looked at you funny one day. It's not people that really hate you. We don't hate, like, we can't possibly all hate each other like this. My haters are my congratulators. Like, it's been used so loosely and it's such a strong word. That's all I was saying. Hate has been mistaken for jealousy.
Okay.
But the word hate itself is being used very loosely and I dare say in the wrong way.
I hope one heard you, because all of us did not hear anything you said, because we are thinking, mang, it's mang,
Tlogela
dang,
drama, buddy. Tlogela drama.
like.
Tlogela drama. How these things happen.
Guys, I was like, yes, this is directed to one, so hopefully one is listening. But me, I'm like,
Tlogela drama.
Para KG. KG, you need, what
yo,
you
who's
said
calling me?
oh, Kimpo, man, Kimpo.
Sure, come through.
Before you come in, I'm sorry to interject.
Okay, all right. Let me try and do this. Okay, Mpo, because one at least is responding to Makupe, let's do that and then come to you, ne? Okay, one. Come to you.
No, Makupe, I'm sorry to interject. Makupe, it's possible for people to hate you because of what they heard. I've been a victim of this. That someone will spread false rumors about you, and that end up, or that leads to people hating you. Sekgowa mara, hating you. Ngezinto ongazazi. No, I must just speak to my native language. I must just stick to my native language. Hating you because of izinto ongazazi. So
Yeah.
it is possible when Makupe ukuthi abantu when you might assume because they are just jealous of you, but when you find out later on, I'm talking from personal experience. When I had a conversation not so long ago with a guy who used to hate me, and then he was very honest why he disliked me. He said, you know what, someone, I know who that person is, said this and this and this and this about you, and that led to me not, being very fond of you. So yeah, I mean, at that time I thought, no man, this guy was just jealous of me, whatever. But then I later realized that, you know what, it was just a mere misunderstanding.
Okay. No, I hear you. I totally hear you. Makupe, we're gonna let it be. It's okay, ne? Mpo, come through.
Morning, family.
How are you, sir?
Overworked and underpaid.
Zwagar.
So, okay, quickly before Kikenaka point that, what Makupe said, actually, there's a biblical premise behind that. Where if
Sorry,
somebody
Mpo, you are
dies-
slightly far from the speaker, and I think we're hearing water. I'm not sure.
Sorry, man. Let me do this. Hold on a second. Let me switch off my earphones.
Batobaro, you are frying. Kanti is water.
Is this better?
Yes, very well, very well. Thank you so much. Come through.
So yeah, what Makupe said, I was saying it picks up from there's a Bible principle, where what you may call it, if somebody dies and that person does not have children, what would happen is they would marry off the person to a brother, to their close, to their one of the brothers, normally the younger one, because normally the older ones would have gotten hitched, and then what they would do is they would consummate so that the lady makes children, and those children would be the brother's heirs. You know what? So it's yeah. There's a Bible principle that's sort of similar to that. But yeah, I just wanted
Drop
to.
scripture warra.
Ke tla bontsha sona fanaka.
Sharp.
Yeah.
Check. But I think Ntoibuang is what we call possibly siantlo in Setswana.
Ungenwa. That's different.
Yeah. That's like, yes, I was about to say that's slightly different, but I understand why you also grab it from that end. That kind of makes sense because it's within the setting. But now, this person that Makupe is speaking about, she was never married to the family. It's someone that they identify for whatever reason, and they stated the case, Bamshela, Lena Adumela, and then the whole thing happened. So I think it's slightly different to the one that you speak of, and that's why for me I was like, I've not, culturally, in terms of how we have done things as African people, I see it. Ka e bona, e na le kgalanyana e nka e bonang, wa bona? But it's new to me. It's very new, very interesting though. Mpho, come through to the topic at hand though.
The topic at hand. Let's begin. Sorry for the noise in the background. Ish.
No,
the
sure.
melon is sick, so can we relax out?
Okay.
So, hate or legacy. I think for me personally, I'd rather you hate me. Like literally, ijagadi pipe. Like, hate me as much as you can. Because at the end of the day, your reasoning for hating me is your own. If I don't know, it does not do anything for me. There's a scripture in the Bible where it talks about hate. It's like hating somebody is literally like, or is it a saying? But hating someone is literally like drinking poison and hoping that they die. It chows you from the inside. It does not affect the person. It does not do anything for the person. Especially, it's one of this whole concept of law. When you're succeeding, people will be like, no, don't do too much. It's fine, let them do it. You know what I mean? It's not gonna affect me, it's gonna affect them. Right? And the more you do it, it's the more literally you become bitter, you become mean. It's literally like it's the same, it's the equivalent of just, it's pushing the devil's work, man. It's pushing the devil's work. So in terms of people forgetting me, there's certain people that I definitely want them to forget. Yes, definitely, without a doubt. I would even pay them to forget me. But there are certain people I'm like, don't forget me. For example, if I was to be unalive, and move to the other side, I would not want my woman to forget me. As much as if something happens to me, I would literally tell her, I'm like, baby, if I was to pass on, please go find a man. Like, I don't want you to spend the rest of your life alone. Like, literally. But yeah, if the man that you find, he just know he's not gonna have access to the trust, So, and my kids, I would not want my kids to forget me. As much as I don't want it, I don't want a barcade. I don't want a tombstone and all these things, man. Me, I just want to be cremated. Take my ashes. If you flush them down the toilet, you flush them down the toilet. It's fine. My soul is not here with me anymore. Let I put a picture of me in the house like Lekhanyan, and then we'll be happy. So all in all, I'd rather have somebody hate me than people that I care about forgetting me.
Okay.
But even if they do, I'm not interested in all of that.
Okay. So Mpho just basically made a will that is recorded on the live. So yeah, we will keep it there. Because I see your hand, I think you want to respond to that.
Yeah. Firstly, I just want to add to, before I go to Mpho's point,
Sure.
I want to go back to Makupe. I think in my family we do something similar to what they do, but not too similar. So in my family, what we do is, what we did was we had Gogo who was never married, right? In the family, and the husband had passed away a long time ago. So now what we did was we wanted her to sort of get the family name through umshado, not through ukuthi kudala hlala nendoda yala efamilini. So we married one of my cousins to her. Ubemele ubaba who passed away. Not to say he was marrying, but traditionally, ubemele ubaba who passed away. So he was acting as ubaba who passed away. But yeah, he was the one walking there, doing the husband thing and stuff.
Does he have then a further responsibility beyond the day?
Not really. I mean, the grandmother is 80 years old, and he's just, he's not that old.
No, I understand.
Yeah. Then to go back to Mpho's point, he said, abantu uma bekuzonda, it's them pushing the devil's work, right? And stuff like that. Blah, 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 blah. I just want to come back and say, let's be careful. Ukuthi, we understand ukuthi abantu basizondelana. Can our bad behavior not be people's reasons to hate us? Then we say they're pushing the devil's work. Because they've got a reason why they hate us. Abanye bab. Some of them don't have a reason. Yabona lab. I Velishem, they are pushing it. They don't have a reason why they hate us, but there are people who hate you because of what you have done to them, right? Can we not then say they are pushing the devil's work because we are the reasons why they hate us? We are the one who are pushing the devil's work. We caused the hate. We need to apologize. We can never say, hey, they hate me. That's a benefit. I'm gonna work hard. Yay, let's be careful. We started things. Now we need to go back and fix. We are never going to get blessings for being hated for bad things that we've done. Let's fix that.
Okay. All right. I hear you. Mpho, yes?
Yeah. Bongs, how are you, Buff?
I'm great, and how are you?
I'm good. Okay, so my reasoning behind that, yes, I understand that there are some times when we have wronged people and we have to make amends, like you have to apologize, yes, and people will hate you if you've wronged them. I agree with you. But there's also instances and times and moments where people hate you for no reason at all. You know, I'm gonna give just an example. In the line of business that I'm in, like me, I'm killing like Kenyans are like blind, like Kenyans are blind, and this is not a personal thing, but I'm literally saying, like Nyatonor, right?
Sure.
So about 4 years ago, got a huge contract with Anglo Platinum, and so I'm driving one evening out of the mine, and so I'm happy driving, it's fine, I'm from work. And then Jigiji, about 5 kilometers from the mine, there were bright lights. I'm like wondering what's going on here. And I couldn't see. So I'm also trying to flick bright lights because they're coming from both sides of the road. Literally, not even a minute from you trying to do that, gunshots, pa, 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 pa. Fit, hold on. Naka hata makura, literally, all I did, I stepped on the gas and I drove, bro. Literally drove. And then got home. And when I got home, I'm like, what the heck? And then one of my cousins, he's in private security. He even says to me, he's like, Fit, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. I'm driving from the mine, and this is what happened. Only to find out, I think a few weeks later, that my cousin was doing some digging. There's some guys who were contending for the contract as me. And they figured, if I'm unalive, they can get it. Why one? And those niggas, even till today, like sometimes, like I bumped into one of them the other day, I'm regular whiskey, you know. But it's a thing of like, even till today, those guys, they don't like me. But I do, like for that, for me, the whiskey thing was for me saying, but for I see you, you know, I see you. So yes, there are certain things that people, like your success, man, and we've seen it so many times throughout history. Your success can rifle people's feathers like there's no tomorrow. People would literally just want to destroy you just because you're doing good for yourself and for your family, and also for community. So yes, firstly, I do understand. Yes, there are times when we are responsible for the hate that people give us, and sometimes I think hate is it's inherent, man. It's within you. You don't just wake up hating people. It's you were taught hate, and you literally decided to water the seed of hate, and you became exactly that. So yeah.
Okay. I hear you, sir. I hear you, sir. Makupe has a hand up and Leroy has his hand up. I believe it's a hand, Leroy. Come through, Makupe.
Sorry, I think we can, well, from what I've been hearing so far, we can safely say that a lot of these things can be avoided. And two things I think need to happen. One, we need to communicate with people and ask them things, because I don't believe in most cases that most people that hate you are people that you know, people that once loved you, you know. So you may have the opportunity to go to them and be like, listen, why don't you like me? Why do you hate me? You know, that's one. Two, think, use your mind, use your brain, introspect. People don't introspect, people don't think, you know. And I think a lot of the times people don't introspect and they don't think because they don't want to take accountability. So it speaks to what Bonginkos is saying, Hore. Well, it's so much easier to just be like, oh no, my haters are my congratulators. This person hates me for no reason. Because you don't want to look within and think, Hore, nna, Kokejo, what did I do to this person to make them react this way? But also, we can just cut all of that. Why on? And then they tell me, and then we have a conversation. If well, at the end of that conversation I still feel like then it's fine. But at least you know, you're not guessing. So because I don't know, a lot of these lives, like a lot of the things that I've heard, I've seen and heard in our conversations, people don't talk to each other. Like, you know, so many of these topics would be dead if people just spoke to each other. We wouldn't be out here trying to figure things out. Yo, and then, oh, now I'm because you just go to the person and you cut all of that, you know? But yeah, that's just.
All right. We hear you, Leroy.
Oh, yeah, work man. Koki, yeah, no, you are 100% right there, Scarbo. You are right there, Lord. So, Brampo, you said we should,
Yes.
yeah. So, like you said, we should hang you like working kind of multiple things. So, I don't know, my question is, working. I must now like.
Irasne singing number to Irasne.
Rates or rates like share. Fanu J so J revival star or maybe revival poi.
Ah, no, not for me. You just put a cross in faith. I'll be wearing like one of the nice one. They'll take a picture. They'll make a nice portrait. To go on. I want. But best nepeda.
Oh, alright, I know because I get on J.
But if my wife gets married again and the man feels intimidated by my manly presence there on top of the fireplace, they can take me down and put him up because then he'll be the man of the house. I'm not, you know.
Ow, bra, ow,
As
boy.
long as the madam is happy, Fanak. As long as the madam is happy.
Rates on po, sheba, bra. Robial poida, so hormono munglomo, Otlanda, and intimidated at the same time. So J, you will be remembered forever. Lalelo boy. Plan live.
Once why?
Behave, Leroy. Behave.
That's why you're my friend, Leroy. That's why you're my friend.
Behave. Hi, you guys. Let's remember to go to 50K. We can't be having a great conversation if we are not at 50K. Let's do that. And I would like to just thank everyone who has joined us. Maybe you're joining us for the first time. We are indeed Makoya Rundown, and we are here Monday to Friday, 20 past 10, and we have conversations like these and share ideas, give each other advice, learn, and all of that. So please join the family, do the heart thing, my Bob, follow, comment, do all the things that go. And yeah, Makupe is there. Before you go to comment jail, please do tap the screen, otherwise get all the comments. Yabo? And yeah, so with that being said, I would unfortunately there's some sad news that I don't think all of you had the opportunity to hear. So I would like to give Abu Senzo the platform for now, and yeah, we will take it from there. Abu Senzo. Abu Senzo.
Hi guys, hi KG. Angibingelele kunina sonke sizwe sisile. Ngokukhulu ukuyithoba nenhlonipho nothando. Angibonga ithuba. As some of you guys know, there has been a death in the family, a tragic death that is in the family. The funeral is set to take place this weekend. Last week, a cousin brother was shot dead whilst he was on duty protecting a subject. He worked for a VIP security company. So him and 4 of his other colleagues were gunned down whilst they were saving the subject, and the person of interest that was being protected survived. So with that being said, at least he managed to carry out his duties. Yeah, so the funeral has been set for this weekend.
All right.
Yes, thank you for that information. That will be
Details of the area, Abu Senzo, for those who are able to.
okay. So the funeral will be held at his home, which is going to be here in Ilovo, which is next to Mazimdodi, right here in KZN. Due to the nature of or rather the stature that I hold within the family and within the community, I cannot attend the funeral. As some of you guys may not know, some of you guys may know, but royals do not attend certain funerals. We only attend certain, funerals. So, with that being said, I do recall that KG with our conversation that if maybe there are those who would have loved to attend the funeral, those that are close. I really appreciate it, and I am humbled by it. But since I also will not be able to attend, I will be accepting messages of condolences. I think that's as far as it can go for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Abu Senzo. Much appreciated. So yeah, guys, in as much as we understand what these news bring, let's just not avoid using the said emojis, TikTok and its things. But yeah, this came, I think we had a live Friday. No, it was not Friday. Thursday or Friday. Sorry, it was Thursday, no? So yeah, so after the live, we just had conversations and whatnot, and that's when the news broke. So not a lot of people were there. So just as we are a community when we are having fun and having interesting conversations, we felt as the team of Makoya that it is equally so that we stand with each other during times like these. So please feel free to contact Abu Disenzo for any information that you might need or any form of support that you would like to provide. That will be much appreciated. And yeah, that is that. Abu Senzo, thank you so much. If you have anything further to say, you may so. If not, I fully release you to go handle what needs to be handled. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you, KG. Thank you, family. I think that is all for now from me. If there are any other messages, my inboxes are always open. You guys are more than welcome to send messages via inboxes. Thank you.
All right. There we go. Thank you so much, Abut Senza. And that is that. Um, uh, yeah. Let's I know said, or maybe let's do a moment of silence for those who would like to make a prayer. Let's do that, and we will continue with the show, even though we are closing very soon. Yeah, you can take a moment of silence. Right. Thank you so much, everyone. Yes, we can continue a bit. I don't know who was yet speaking, but yeah. To the topic at hand, I think what I've picked up from the different perspectives that people brought. There are different opportunities of being hated, whether it's warranted or not. And there is quite also some great points that have been brought that I did not even think about in terms of, for example, being forgotten, from the aspect of your legacy, not wanting to be forgotten around that for your deeds, not wanting to be forgotten by the people who loved you and who you also love. And other people, I'd be like, rather, we're good. Hate me. If anything, it will make it a certain that you will not forget me. And I think sometimes when we handle, for example, topics like these, we take them at face value, and when it gets opened up, then we start to realize that no, man, this is bigger than what you may have thought, or even it's not only fitting to a certain category, in terms of whether it's just romantic relationships or friendships or family. It could, go into other things that you may not have thought about. And that's why we're having these discussions in any case. So remember, guys, I'm closing at 12:30. So at this point, we are nearing the close. So if you have any points that you might have forgotten or that you remember you can come through with them, and let's bring them in. Come through one.
I just want to touch base on what Umpo said.
Yeah.
Team. Sometimes we confuse the word hate. If someone sees you as a threat, for example, the example that Umpo gave us, that certain people in business see him as a threat, that does not always amount to hate. And often people dislike certain people, and that does not always amount to hate. People can dislike you because of your attitude, not because they hate you. So I just want us to have a clear understanding on that aspect. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the clarity. It's true. I think if anything, unless can be corrected, hate could be like the final stage, of all these other dislikes and all of these other things. So it's there we go. Makope saying that's literally what I was saying to you earlier. Okay, so at least now it's clarified. So there can be these dislikes, there can be all of these things that we go through, or people go through in these emotions, and hate now becomes this total I don't know, disdain, where you're just like, I hate, or yeah, I don't know, you can't even say I love this, I hate this person. It's very difficult to conceive how someone can hate. Definitely, there are certain situations that, people would be warranted to hate. However, how it what it does to you, it's a whole different situation. You can hate this person or have reasons to hate a person or hate a thing. However, what that hate does in you is, I think, what you then need to ask yourself: is it worth it or not? So yeah, so that is pretty much clear now, that kunama dislikes and all of these things. There's all of these jealousies and all of that. That someone just wants this thing for themselves. It's not the case that they hate you, but we have had this, particularly in the, would I say, no, I don't know if I should say political thing, whatever this arena is, but we've heard of these things where people behave or act in a certain way towards you that we can term hate. I don't know if I'm understood. Leroy, your hand.
I know you are 100% correct there, actually. So some people actually like they look for things to actually hate you, like with, and so like, which is very stupid anyway. But anyway, so my last words quickly. There's a white man who once said, "Out of sight, out of mind."
Were they white?
I think so. I don't know, man, because it is already. Anyway, so what that actually means to me, ke gore hating is a lot of work. So rather leave it there. Memories, you really can't like leave them behind, because like they will like be there forever. So rather use that energy, more productive. Yeah, sharp. Like memories are going to be there. They're there. So just learn how to deal with them. But then please don't hate, man. Come on, bro, because it's really stupid to hate, actually. Like really stupid, because you constantly have to remind yourself, "Gore, it's my crazy, constantly have to come on, man." So rather be more productive, let go, and be happy. Bye, guys. Hope actually, to my poop, actually, guys. Nana go as a wheeling, actually. But again, gonna order a kind of hey, Leroy Hana Bana Hana Mosadi Ramanyalisa Makupi. I bad so you must have a will, guys. Of news, so you're gonna be married here. Like, what's the game? Lady Spirit.
Do you think they care about your will, my guy?
Hey,
Ke kopa araba Leroy.
ngizothola
Ke kopa go araba Leroy.
mina ngizothola legal wise.
Ke kopa go araba Leroy.
Leroy karaba ho ke yo ge
Ke kopa go maraba. Yena le ke mang? Ke Agile. I am not fighting. You'll know when I'm fighting with you, Leroy. Don't worry. When you are alive, when you're busy out here living for vibes and doing what you want, talking about wills and go monate. But you know what? All of us njengoba re le mo lefaseng, we don't know what happens after you die. That other side, we don't know. Right? So you and your will out here, me trying to be funny and cool. When you that side watch, and then you come back and you tell us, "Yo, guys, please, we don't know what happens. So be quiet, because you don't know." And o ka re ba ka o tlogela nje o tlhotlhorega ka kwane. And
Now
when
you
you
don't
go to
know
them,
which one
when you
from
go to
coming
your
of age.
great grand nieces and nephews, because I can't batle bana.
Yeah, just
Your
how.
great grand nieces and nephews, o busy mo le ngwanaka, please ke kopa le nyaleleng mosadi ebe ba go botsa ko ditorong gore ntate ya ko willing ya gago re buditse ko wena
Mna
kuphele nje ibe ncane indawo.
ndisatsho ukuba andisotshatiswa apha ndifile. Ngeke.
Ithola wena Shakatswana o tla ithola.
Ngeke. Mfayine.
Yeah, ne?
Oh, one more thing. Another
Yes.
thing, ne? Your surname. I don't know what your surname is. Let's say your surname is Shakatswana, ne? It's not yours. Luena, you are you are on a family tree. You are doing something. There's a part that you are playing. So when we do these things, we're not doing it for Leroy, the cool guy who was on Makoya Rundown. It is about the legacy. It is about the place that you are holding in our family tree. Has nothing to do with you.
Utlwile Shakatswana. It is. Unmute, yeah, it's raining.
Kyari.
Oh, okay.
Kyari. Bona. Ke le tlhompha le di-tradition tseo tsa lona gore federe mosadi loses and vibes na, but then mina ngisasho ukuthi ga ke batle le ntlogeleng.
Good luck.
Let me rest in peace. Some brief toch. Nje hello.
Okay, there we go. Guys, before we close, I hope we'll have a bit of this day. How then do we handle the one that came earlier on? Yeah, hore adults are fighting. Because Nalema Kupe, we are fighting, we are family. Jiki jiki, my children, you know, Gabavuta or no. In this my house, Ardlalo Guabuma Kupe. We don't visit Guama Kupe and all of that. How are we as the adults of this generation? Yo, this hurt me. Yo, this adults of these generations, how are we gonna solve these matters? Bungkos, raise your hand, sir.
Yay! This one is funny. But
Yeah.
what I can say is, Uguti, when I'm fighting with KG's family, when I'm fighting with KG and Sikulile Sbadala Seno KG, we are fighting, we've been fighting, right, for his courtesy. People, the things that people do when they fight is what scares us. Is the reason why we say, I don't want my family to then associate with KG's family. Because of the things that people do when they fight. We can never ignore the fact that there are people who will hit you ngomntwanakho. We are fighting mina no KG. My child uyodlala ka KG. The next thing, my child udle a poison. Ganjan. You understand? We are fighting mina no KG. The next thing, UKG na wenze something to umtanam to spite me. You understand? There's a lot of things that people do when they fight. That's why we need to be careful. Uguti ama families way to associate her with who, and they don't associate with who. But what I'm also saying is, Uguti, I don't believe in hot spotting. I hate. I don't believe in hot spotting hate. But I'm saying, Guti, we must be careful. We shouldn't hotspot, but we must also be careful. I might be friends with Abantu whose parents were not in good terms with my parents, but I must be careful about the information I share about my family, the information I share about myself with those people, the things that I do with those people. Yeah, we understand. Because bona labantwana balapha emndenini, they might have good intentions, ngami, but abazali babo, they might not have good intentions, ngami, because they hate my parents. You understand? So we always need to be careful, but not to hotspots. Hate.
You see how this thing is poisonous, you know? That now that we are fighting, all of a sudden it has escalated to this hate, and then. Aye. Coupe come through, and then we go to one.
Guys, you know what's very important is not sitting on our brains. We must use them to think. Okay. So I think that, like, my paternal side of the family, like my biological father's side of the family, ke nyaka mole. Mang a rate mang, you know what I mean? But then our generation decided that we are going to try and, not inherit our parents. It sounded so beautiful when we were saying it. Like la kopana ko mafung, and then when you're sitting there after tears, yo guys, Mara, why are we like this? We need to do better. We must do a WhatsApp group and maybe meet once a year, and right. It sounds so beautiful. And when, as yourself, as Kokejo, you know that my intentions are pure. But the next person's intentions may not be pure. So you must use this thing, critical thinking. You must watch how people move. You know what I mean? Don't say everything. Now you are talking your deepest, darkest secrets because you reunited yesterday. Guys, use this thing. Use it. Because little khubala. Yes, your intentions are pure, but the next person may have been rumeled by that same auntie who hates your father. So you must use your medulla. Use it.
Vare le sebedise oblongata. Arego abutuan.
Yazi, often when Masiti they shouldn't play in a certain house because you have a problem with the people from that family. It's because we understand that people or children are some sort of their environment. So you're trying to protect them from that certain environment. And this is I'm going to share a story, and I want your advice on this. I'm actually currently as we speak, but this happened a long time ago. I'm in that situation where my mom was in business with a certain family. She was in business with a certain family, and this family cheated her.
Okay.
Like, he cheated her. It's not a matter of business failing and the funds were lost, but it was clearly corruption, mismanagement of funds, and abuse of power. And as a result of that, well, this used to be a family that we got along with, and as a result of that, we don't get along anymore. And so I can say that I inherited my mom's beef, though I was still a minor when this happened, but up until this day, I don't get along with kids from that family, mainly because I know that they benefited from resources that were meant to benefit me. And every time I say them, I'm like, this is... And every time I say them, I'm like, oh, and tell me, am I wrong for sticking to that approach?
My question is, so how long ago was this? Like, you know what I mean? So the thing you would see, Malika Mamako, is it possible? Is it viable that they're still chowing it?
Well, what I know is they renovated the house, so then the house is still there. So they're still chowing it, certainly.
It's not a lie. Malika Mamako.
But
You know?
that money was meant to benefit me. Do you understand?
Yes. So it's
My
like,
mom wants into this, hoping that the returns will benefit me at some point. But when they cheated basically.
but it's not the whole family, and ubazonda bonke.
Bonke nekati lakhona, even the egg that they breed,
Until nini?
everything nje from
It's enough now. Which generation are you gonna stop? The third generation, following generation, like we'll
one thing
stop.
for me is I do not believe in reconciliation. Once we fight, if we ever have a problem, there's no reconciliation. Once it's war, it's war. I don't reconcile.
Nano, here's a client, Sisi.
Yo, one.
Honey,
What I can say,
oh,
one
like,
Ukila
Okay,
situation.
wait. Let's give Nano and then go to Bongi. Yes, Nano.
Wani, mina nawe sinto yinye ne, but I'm going to tell you this. Mina yonke into eyenzekile. No, it's different, Makhuphe. Kunala ibengithi ikhona lalela. Black mentalist uthi he lost abantu with poisoning nan. Mina, I buried a child of my own. Ngayo yona lento esikhuluma ngayo. Being hated and people wanting to forget you and jealousy and dislike, and we can go on and on. I buried my own child due to all this. The messing up, Makupe, as you mentioned, your paternal side, minage, it's both sides. My mother's side, my maternal and my paternal, it's a mess, right? But kukho konke guys, make sure you come out untouched. Because if you ever find a trace of a stain of what has been done to you, and you having that heart to say you want to return to sender ngokuthi ube yileyo nto leyo, you've lost it. You've lost yourself. Finding yourself, guys, means being able to look at a situation and see ukuthi it's working for your good. By working for your good, ngisho ukuthi logo kubi abaqanga ukuthi bayakwenza kuwe. Your strength will become you having to build a house better than what they think they have taken. Without taking something from inheritance or being boosted, you start with nothing. You start nowhere. You start ngazo zonke indlela la sebathi uhlulekile. You bring yourself up. Bethi bekunwabile. You wake up and you take up your cross and you make sure that you become better than what they had anticipated. Ukuthi i-hatred yabo, ne-dislike yabo, ne-jealousy yabo, ne-name calling yabo would do to you. Kanjalo unqobile, darling. Bayeke ngemali kamamakho. Bheka manje uphila kamnandi, ukuma kwaya rundown siyaxoxa sibheka ngayo lento. Bona leyandlu leyana bazothi mebeyibheka njalo masiqala ukuwa iqala ukwenzani bazothi yo kushuthi usibambe ngenhliziyo, because that's how they think. They end up coming back to blame you for izinto futhi wena ungekho involved in. So move on by taking care of yourself and understanding that you are more than capable to give yourself the best, better than what you think they have taken to you. In my closing, guys, stay neutral, stay true to yourself, and be authentic. Make sure you always clean house and you hold yourself accountable. Your truth will echo greatness. You don't need to scream. And also, if you are hated for your greatness, become greater. Become greater. Thank you, guys.
No, don't go. Keep up for wena. Thank you for that submission. Okay, so guys, please, ne. Singa lol. Coupe, one black mentalist has a question.
Sorry, it's Bongani first.
Bongani, yes. Bongani, Coupe, one black mentalist. Sorry, not Bongani, sorry.
Bese ngikushaya ngenqindi vele. Bese ngisenda inqindi. I was
But I was
Yeah,
gonna say
good.
the almost the very same thing usisinano ayishilo ukuthi never allow people to take power over you, because then there's something that Tyler Perry always says ukuthi when you hate people, you are giving them power over yourself, because then every time when you see them, no matter how happy you were, when you see them, suddenly you become sad. You become like uyakwata. Let people not control the way that you feel. Just make peace. Bayenzile into abayenzile, it's on them. One thing is for sure, no one, and ayikho into eyenziwe ngentembi ephumelelayo. I don't know how to put that in English, but yeah. Ayikho into embi eyenziwe, ayikho into eyenziwe ngento embi ephumelelayo. You can go everywhere. You'll check throughout history. No one obekenza into ezimbi ophumelelayo. And it will come back to them. It might not come today, but eventually it will. And you might not see it kule generation yefamily yabo yamanje. It might come 100 years from now, but it's okusalayo izobuya. So don't stress, man. Phila impilo yakho. Ungalibeli uthi mali kamama. One uphila is Julius Caesar.
You know, guys, hey, yeah. What you just said when you say kuti, you know, one day it will come back to them. What about Bu 62? When is it coming back to them? But we are not having that discussion. I'm just asking, Muti. These ones, yeah, when are they? You know, so this thing of saying Kuti, because someone has done you bad and therefore bad will come to them, I don't know, guys. I don't know, because how many years has it been? The 62 baja hamonate, ho sharp fair, hamonate. But then it's fine. One and then Makupe and then Black.
Okay. It was supposed to be Makupe for me, but anyways, I'm gonna come in. No, I just want to say ukuthi lento lena unano no bonke ukuthi abayisho ukuthi it's gonna come back to them, it's on them, da 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 da. I used to think like that, but now I think exactly like you, KG. I believe that it's just a way of comforting oneself to say that no, one day they'll regret it, one day life will punish them, etc., because that doesn't happen. The people I'm talking about currently they are still doing the same thing. They're still scamming people. They're still, in fact, they are doing better than they were at that time. And to be honest, I hope to get revenge for my mom one day, because I know that these people, they did this solely because she was a woman and she did not have someone to protect her. My father died when I was very, very young. So I believe they just exploited her because of that. And I'm hoping that one day I'm gonna become strong enough to get revenge for her. As I said earlier, it's war, no forgiveness. God forgives, I don't.
Wow. Okay, Cooper, come through. Guys, why are you guys requesting right now? Guys.
Batjha ba tla go araba.
Come through, Cooper.
So, you know what? This thing about karma is a very complex one, ne? Because personally, as Koketo, the way I see karma is that you don't know. Let's say we'll work under the premise of God or the universe, ne? You don't know how the universe or God operates, ne? And then for when punishment is 10 years in jail, but actually they get punished with death, you know. So you don't, what you prescribe as that person's deserving punishment is not always going to be what they get. And that's the problem with this thing. Yeah, karma. You will be out here waiting and looking at this person, they're going to get what they deserve. But what they deserve may not be what you have in mind for them. And you will be constantly waiting for the penny to drop, but it has already dropped. So like, for example, let's use this one. But the Caucasians, they haven't been punished, right? But what if punishment ya bona ke go ba le melomo e mennyane le dishwapa? We don't know what their punishment is. We don't know. What if their punishment is that they don't have melanin? A re tsebe punishment ya bona ke eng. Deep down, when they are there in their family meetings, they are crying baja chelete eo ya bona, because they are being punished. They don't have bums. They go and do plastic BBLs and all of these things, diabola, understand? Because they are being punished. So we don't know. The punishment that we prescribe to people may not be what God or the universe deserves. They believes they deserve. And just live your life, because you'll be busy out here waiting for some penny to drop, and it won't. Marachale, itropile. They are being punished. Why not just live like they've already been punished by virtue of them doing that thing to you?
Kube, didn't they already have Shapa? Didn't they already have all of these things
Where were
before they
you?
came and did?
Where were you? Do we know? We don't know. Because this thing dates so many generations back. It's so long. We don't know.
Okay. Your suggestion will be taken under advisement. Someone said it doesn't serve as this thing that you're mentioning, but okay, under advisement. Girls, I know sharp. Who's next? Black.
Sanibonani ngiyikhundla nangigaba zenu nanki. Hey bantwana besilo. I wanted to ask a question, but I think iyaphenduleka somewhere when they spoke of karma and she agreed with it. Now I say, because she mentioned something ukuthi return to sender turns you to be a bad person.
Okay.
I strongly don't believe in that. I believe that once you add something, then now you are no longer, innocent, because it's an return to sender, karma. I cannot namhlanje uyangithakatha ngithumela ngesilwane, and then ikusasa mina ngigeza ngomuthi kumele ngemfuleni ngithenge ini ngenzeni ngibhadala 3,000 okuyolahla isilwane and what not. Then you see ukuthi isilwane sakho sesikhishiwe, next month you come back, you do the same thing again. Mina ngiloku ngiyageza, wena ubhizi uyathumela, ngiloku ngiyageza, uyathumela ufaka izinto egedini njalo mina ngiyakhipha. Now it gets to a point where you have to taste their own medicine. You have to understand ukuthi lento iyenzayo iyini iyenzani. And at that point ke kulana ngithi khona hayi no, ongishayayo akushayeke yena, wathumela lightning ngiyayibamba ngithi kuyo, ngiyayitshela leyo lightning ngithi ngime emva komnyango wakho endlini, mawuyivula itishaye ayishaye wena endlini. Ayishaye wena endlini, because I'm not going to speak much about the hatred, because I personally do not have the experience of hating someone. And I don't want to say I've ever been hated. I think mina futhi ngibe naive for a very long time. I think ukuba naive wami kuphele last year. I didn't even think ukuthi mina nginama enemies. Anyone who is my friend would tell you I've never even had enough data more. Know your enemies, know your friends, keep your angazi nje ngibe naleyo nto leyo, because I'm a people's person.
Yeah.
So that's why my question was, is jealousy and envy equals to hatred? because I don't think we see the line there. We tend to, dress the two, envy and jealousy, as inzondo. I think inzondo has got something that is deep, because when somebody is jealous of you and envies you, when you move in a space in a way that you sort of not show off but share. Maybe you see ukuthi kunala abaleka khona, and then you get to share ukuthi, I see ukuthi ufuna ukwenza into enje, however yenzeki kuwe. How about you join the wagon elabantu laba benza kanje for your things to work out, or join me, or we always talk to our so-called enemies, which this is how I did it. This is how I did it. We share information. Someone khona kunomuntu ebeka khona ku mining engineering, and I think there's people that he has sat down with in a meeting and say, this is how I did it. And those people, even those that envied him, ended up, getting to it, and they understood him. However, with the hatred, angiyazi. And this part yokuthi abantu bayathakatha, mina futhi wami angaze ngakholelwa ekuthakatheni, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been hearing it ukuthi abantu bayathakatha ini until I think I was 18 or 17. One night I'm sitting watching a movie. Night owl. So around 2 a.m. I'm watching a movie. So ekhaya street lights, Apollo case, let me not say street light, Apollo case, yeah. Ishaya ifastela sekhaya, let's lounge. So much that we have a thick curtain a lounge. So bekuna imvula nithini ngeSotho, imvula yomndubi. Yeah, umndubi. Lena soft imvula yakhona.
Sure.
And something in me said, awubheke lapha egedini ukuthi kwenzakalani.
Sure.
And then I opened the curtain, and then I saw kusabuntabanyana, man. You don't see, it's like a hillnyana, and we don't have that gate in lasekhaya. And I see also ukuthi kune steamnyana esiphumayo. So I think I was cursed with my senses. I have a very good sense yokubona nendlebe.
Okay.
Like indlebe yami, it's very ngikhona ukuzwa ipin iwa. So I decided, no man, let me check, because normally when we do like stent ekhaya re keng hota mo high.
Okay.
Like I hota jarite, ukuthi ngibeke lapha egate for abantu bododo ukuthi bazothatha. So I'm thinking, no man, I did not do garden, so there shouldn't be, a heap there. I decided to check, and I see with man, this is somehow a blanket, and this thing is shaped like a human makaguqile, So my head said someone is there doing something by the gate. Guys, this is not funny, and don't ever come at me with this. I decided, I've heard with abathakathi bangcono, right? Now, mind you, I'm in my mid to late teens. I dare myself, took out my clothes, walked out naked, went to that heap and saw ukuthi that's a person there. And the lady waphakamisa ikhanda was Vula. And I said to her, whatever lo ifakayo la, uyikhiphe. That granny, she's from my neighborhood. That granny, since that day, she never looked at me in the eyes. Noma ngibingelela ngumuntu ke mina wabantu. Like, I think that's another thing ebengenza ukuthi ngibe naive, because I thought everybody loves me in my neighborhood. I help everyone. When their kids are getting out of the way, baba letha lagimi for me to talk to them. Now someone is going to do this to my home. So in maseseka hambile, the following day we went and checked the washiya umgodi bekasagubha. And now recently I've found things like higher. Wait.
But black mental is Zagala Gausani, Joe. Zagala Gausani, there's no way.
So it's a lot. So I can't call it inzondo. There's probably something that I believe, I think there's whoever that is doing this, whoever that is doing that to us, I don't think inzondo, because I don't think we've done anything against anyone so much that they can hate us.
Yeah.
And I grew up fighting Estradeni, so I don't think they would hate me for that because it was self-defense.
Let me say this, right? This is my last comment, and we are closing. I think all these envy and all of these things that you have mentioned are children of the same mother, and the mother is hatred. They will always lead you to their mother. So that's just how I see it. Well, mother or father, they will always lead you to the mother or father. Let's not be sexy slap. So I think it's one of those things that it's a seed, and yakula, and it comes into something else. And as we see, I mean, we've heard, as Black people, we've heard stories, and for me, being in the faith that I am, I have seen manifestations. There are people who tagata and all of that, and it's always just be like jealousy. It always sounds like jealousy, but it leads you there of hatred and all of that, where you be like, such petty things. Just because my children seem to be succeeding more than your children, therefore you feel. So you see, it's that thing when a Black mentalist that you are helping everyone in the community and everything else, but the people you're helping, probably that person has a beef with those people. Manje wena, you are messing up with their things because of all your goodness. Yabo? So you never know where these things are coming from. So I just think they're just children in jail of the same parent. And they will always lead you to the parent. You understand? So, guys, this thing of karma and whatnot, I don't know. You guys tell me. Do you want to have a conversation further about it tomorrow? Because I told you, my producer is always on point. This story of karma was going to be a topic of tomorrow. And we were like, kanjani. And me, I was like, no, let's not have this conversation. But since it has started here, maybe let's have it tomorrow. What do you guys say? Okay. So we can dissect. Is it karma a thing that we just made up because we want to revenge? Or it's a thing that just makes you comfortable, good to know something is coming because you know you can act on it? What is this thing? Yabo? So please, maybe let's let's have that. What do you guys say? Unmute, I'm closing now.
Yes, now I'm cool with it.
Yeah, we can talk about karma, and I think it would be beautiful to have, if we can have someone who has experienced karma.
Yes. About KG.
Sure.
I don't know today in late for class, ne?
Sure.
Like at the beginning of like the topics and stuff, can we have the definitions of words?
Okay.
So that we grapple with something that we know what are we talking about here?
Okay. I hear you. I hear where it's coming from, but the people who are also coming late, they wouldn't have caught the definition. So, but let's think about it. Maybe we might also put them up here. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can look at it that way. But I also like people to define things for themselves. So yeah, I'll definitely put it to head office and let's see what we can play around it. So yeah, karma both good or bad or just bad. Karma in a good too also. Alright guys, let's have this conversation tomorrow, okay? We're just gonna have karma, that's it. Nano, yes?
That's good.
I'm saying let's have karma as a whole, and then maybe but understand what it means for and then how to go about it also.
So topic yak outside karma ke man. That's it, we are done. Right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Those who are joining us for the first time, tomorrow, 10 we are here. Monday to Friday, we are here, 10. Let's have discussions about all of these things. Allow us to define karma in our own knowledge and experiences as well. So, yes, let's do that. Karma is a Sanskrit word that means the happening. Kitseohe. So we are coming with it. Thank you so much, guys, and please don't forget to inbox Abutu Senzo as and when you can, and support in any way that you can. And yeah, let's support each other through the good and the bad. So thank you so much. Goodbye, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys on Thursday. And yeah, cheers. Bye bye. Come again, man. Zwaka.